Welcome back for lesson 15. Today we're going to be learning about objects and object classes. We're going to make a rectangle class and then make use of that by having a square. So to start off, it's going to start off very similarly. We're going to say public class rectangle So this is going to be saved as rectangle. As you can see, I've already saved it, so you guys can go ahead and save it. Make sure that you save it in the right place. Okay, so now we're going to have I'm going to make instance variables, also known as class variables. So instance class variables. Okay, so every rectangle needs to have both a length and a width. So we're going to have double length, comma, width. Okay, so we have two values. Okay, here's where it differs a little bit from what we've been doing so far. It's not going to have a main method, it's going to have a constructor instead. So this is going to be constructor. Okay, and it's public, the name of the class. Okay, in this case we're going to be taking in two doubles, a double length and a double width. We're going to store these values in our class values. So we're going to say this, referring to this class, this dot length equals len, which is the length that we get from our constructor. We're going to also say this dot width equals w. Okay. Now we want our getter methods. These are going to return our values. So we're going to have a get width and a get length. So public double, because that's the type, get length. It takes in no parameters and simply returns the length. Similarly, we're going to have a get width. Public double get width. And it's going to return width. Okay, so we have our two getter methods. We have get length and get width. Now we need our setter methods. And these are not going to have a return type. They're going to have return type void. So public void set length. This is going to take in a double. We're going to set the value, so this dot length equals len. Notice that in this case we're not returning anything, we're simply setting a value. So we're going to do the same thing for width. So set width, double w, this dot width equals w. Okay. So we have our constructor, our getter methods, our setter methods, and we also want to have a few more methods. So I'm going to call these class methods. Okay, so every rectangle has both an area and a perimeter. So we're going to have two methods, one called area and one called perimeter. Area is going to return the area and perimeter will return the perimeter. So we're going to have public double area and there's two ways that we can go about doing this. We can either make a double variable here called area and return that, or we can just do a return parenthesis length times width. Similarly, we can do a similar thing with our perimeter. So public double perimeter. Again, it takes in no parameters, and it's just going to have a return type of double. Again, similarly, we can create a variable called perimeter that calculates the perimeter, or we can just have a one return statement. So return, two parentheses this time, 2 times the length, because we have 2 times the length, plus 2 times the width. Okay, so in our rectangle class we have our class instance variables. We have a constructor that creates a rectangle object with a certain length and a certain width. We have getter methods that get the attributes or the variable values for both length and width. We have setter methods which set the values, and we have class methods that perform class operations. So let's go ahead and save this. Okay, now let's work on our square. So we're going to go ahead and make another class. Again, I already went ahead and saved it, so you're going to say square.java. And this is going to look a bit like what we've been doing so far. So we're going to have our public, static, void, we have our public class square, because that is the name of our class, and we're going to have our public static void main string args. Okay. Then inside of our main method, we want to make a rectangle object. We're going to call it square equals new rectangle, and we're going to give it the value of 3.0 and 3.0. And now we're going to print out its area and print out its perimeter. So system.out.the area is plus square dot area. Don't forget the parentheses because it's a method. We do the same thing with our perimeter, so system.out.println, the perimeter is plus square dot perimeter. Okay, again, make sure that you save it. And then let's compile our files. So you have to compile the object file first. So Java C rectangle.java. Okay. Then Java C square.java. And we can't run our rectangle.java because if we attempt to do that, we will get an error that says that we don't have a main method. However, we do have a main method in our square .java. So we're going to run that instead. So java square, and see that our area is 9 and our perimeter is 12, and you can check that to show that that is the result that we're wanting, because 3 times 3 is 9 and the perimeter is 2 times 3 plus 2 times 3, or 6 plus 6, which is indeed 12. So that is our object class.